Hi, welcome to the Real Estate of Things. My name is Michael Brown with the Brown Residential Group. I'm here with my main man, Austin Bates with Homeowners Financial. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Did you have a good weekend?
Fantastic.
Excellent. We would like to start by saying, we keep saying this, but this is the real deal now. Michael did it. He's officially a realtor. He passed the state test.
Did.
Congratulations.
Time to get on the side of the mic.
Yeah, exactly. There's only one request.
Oh.
Don't quit your day job. And we only say that because if you quit your day job, we're not going to know what to do with it. So.
You got it.
Anyway, congrats. We're happy for you. We want to talk today about credit, right? I had a situation last week with a client that asked me some questions about credit, and I think I gave her some good information. I think I did. But, you know, this is another area that's kind of elusive, and you deal with credit every single day. That's kind of your first port of call with somebody, right?
Point one, square one from the lending process is
Right.
Credit.
Right. So we figured maybe what we could do today is clear up some myths. There's a lot of myths out there, and if anybody could do it, Austin can. So we know that there's three different credit reporting agencies: Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Real quick, why are there three?
You know, it's, well, for a mortgage report, it's answered in a little bit different way. For a mortgage report, we pull a tri-merge report,
Okay.
which means we get all three bureaus' scores.
Okay.
And we take the middle score for qualifying.
Right.
Because, you know, more times than not, one score's really high, one score's be a little bit lower. They're never going to be exactly the same.
Right.
So, you know, there's still, misreporting credit, I think. And if you've got three bureaus, you've got checks and balances that are in there. So for our purposes, we take the middle of the three because we know that sometimes, you know, someone could be inputting your information on a rental application and type a wrong middle initial, and all of a sudden they've confused you with someone else.
Can I just talk about that real quick? I have a very common name, Michael Brown. I'm not common name, right? Let me tell you something. True story. I pulled my credit report, and you never know you need your credit until you need it, right?
Right.
Pulled my credit report, and I had 8 items on that report that were not mine. Now, here's the funny thing. It actually worked to my advantage. One of them was a $200,000 mortgage with Bank of America.
Good.
Luckily, the guy was paying on time, so it boosted my score. But obviously, I'm not going to keep it there, so I got it taken off. But I had to write to every single agency individually. I had to contest it. It took about 30 plus days. It got removed.
It's not fun.
And then I decided to prevent being in that situation again because I'm such a commoner. I decided to get LifeLock. And this is not an endorsed commercial. I wish we were getting paid. But you know, that way they watch my credit. If there's ever a change, they let me know what's going on. So that way things don't creep up on there that are not mine.
It's true.
Right.
And those services work well.
Right.
And you could do them yourself as well by putting fraud alerts on with the bureaus.
Okay.
So I recommend those because you never know when someone's going to, try to sign up for credit in your name.
Yes.
Or when someone might be confused with you. But any measures you could take to kind of protect your information is worth doing because you're right. You don't know until it's too late.
Until it's too
I
late.
should have great credit, and you pull your credit report and you see something that's on there, and like, well, that's not mine. Guess what? Then we have to prove it.
Right.
And that's easier said than done.
And it takes a long time.
It does.
How frequently should somebody check their credit?
They say annually.
Once a year.
There's the free credit report services that are out there, and they're good tools to at least know what's going on and make sure that there's nothing on there that's they tell you to sign up for free, but you put in a credit card, and then after you check your credit report for free, they'll start charging you on it. So you have to make sure that you're cognizant of the fine print that's on those things. But it is good to have your credit checked, probably on an annual basis to make sure everything's in line. Everything's good.
And is there anything? What about this whole thing about how many times you have your credit pulled? How that affects your score? Can you clean that up? Because I think there's a lot of myths about that.
There is, and it's a good myth because people are protective of having their credit pulled.
Right.
So but it doesn't necessarily mean because I pulled so much credit, the scores are going to go down.
Okay.
So you're allowed certain pulls within industries because for shopping purposes, say you're trying to get an auto loan or a mortgage or something like that, you can go to a couple different places, institutions, and have your credit checked. But what you should do is if you go one place and you're going to shop, get your scores, let them tell you what they are. They should be able to give you a copy report. We're not really supposed to.
Right.
For some reason, I don't really understand that rule from a lending standpoint. We're not allowed to release the client report. But get the scores so you know where they're at, and when you go to the next place, just say, hey, here's my credit scores. What am I looking at?
See, that right there is great advice, because that means that if you're shopping for a car or something, you're not getting it pulled multiple times for the same thing,
And
right?
they're all going to try to pull it.
Right. And that's when your score goes down.
It does. When
Okay.
a lot of people are pulling it, then it's going to go down. It's not going to go down huge. It's going to go down a few points. You know, it's not going to be the difference between, you know, a 600 and a 700 credit score, but it could be a 705 to a 695,
Yeah, that's
which is a different credit
yeah,
category.
absolutely. And real quick, last thing, what's that cutoff point now for loans? Where if you're going to get a loan, where are you going to start to see better rates based on a certain credit score? What's that number?
You know, the better rates, it's tiered kind of, and you know, it could be a 20-minute video probably on how tiered credit scores will impact your interest rate. But yeah, the perfect credit's considered 740 plus for the most part.
740,
You know, if you're doing everything right, you should be up there.
Okay.
700 is always considered good, 700 and up. You know, once you're below 700, you're usually going to start to see some hits to your financing because of it.
Okay, well listen, that's what we could cover today. Obviously, again, as I always say, there's a lot more we could go into. Definitely, if you've got time and you're in the process of looking to buy a house or do something, talk to Austin. I mean, there's really some basic things you can do to protect yourself so that you can get the, you know, the kind of interest rates and the benefits that you're deserving. And also one last thing is, again, if you're not the kind of person that's going to check your score regularly, get one of these agencies to check to you know, look at your score, alert you when something changes. Because again, you never know you need your credit until you need it, right?
Yeah, $10 fee for the LifeLock service or whatever it does
It's worth
cost. It's worth it as opposed to, you know, the cost associated with trying to get your credit.
No
cleaned
kidding.
up.
No kidding. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Bye.